It's Friday, September 29th on the Sleepers podcast, presented by the first place NFC North leaders, the Detroit Lions. Over to my good friend Carter Elliott. Are those the victory shades that I see?
You're damn skippy. They're the victory shades, and not pulling out the victory breakfast as well. We don't eat unless the Lions win. Got eggs, extra cheese. Shout out to the Lambeau folks out there. We got a little mimosa as well because I'm a champion and I can do what I want. Life is good. Life is great, honestly. I don't even think good does it justice. Life is great.
Deion, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we all can see you, Cart, and we've all been watching the Lions for decades. That we don't eat unless the Lions win comment was just not true.
Fair point. Very fair point. I eat less.
Understood. I mean, what an energy, what a start. Credit to Cart, honestly, for persevering and being in such a positive mood given the state of his college football team. I feel like that's a shocker. Like, if you would have told us what happened with Redacted in East Lansing and you would still be in this mood with these shades on right now on a Friday in September, I think we all would have been shocked.
Who's my college football team?
Michigan State.
Oh, I thought. Sorry, I'm a little distracted also because we had a time to start this and the food's a little cold now. I'm not gonna lie, it's been sitting here for a minute, but we're still. It still tastes like victory. Let that be known.
That's on me. That's 100% on me. Before we go over to, you know what? I should set the table here. Actually, we have Deion Hill forward here. That boy D Hill. It is still a Riley Friday, but Riley is experiencing his first Friday as a father, so we're gonna give him some space here. I told him to hit me up when he wants his spot back. And that's no disrespect to Deion, but Deion's making it difficult on Riley. I would say that he brought an A+ effort last week, and we're back with that boy D Hill again for a takeover. So he has 3 topics we're going to get to. We have no idea what they are. I have a good feeling they might involve the Ryder Cup because I think all 3 of us have a couple $100 on live bets on the Ryder Cup as we're recording this right now. So it should be a fun episode. We'll start with comments as always. And before we go to Carter's comment, I have to ask Carter a simple question here. We got a great guy, right? Like, that's not a question. That's a statement. We got a great guy.
Yeah. I mean, Guy has in his first week made an impact that I couldn't even imagine that would be made. I mean, he's just gone above and beyond. And his name is Guy. I feel like I didn't take enough time to, like, you know, I'm not saying I'm a super religious person. You know, I got a good sense of faith in me. I should have been on my hands and knees thanking my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ that he delivered this young killer and Guy.
You're just thanking the Lord that a young boy was delivered to Carter Elliott. Is that what you're approaching this with? I got to stop being problematic. I'm sorry. It's been a really hard week.
I was just going to, and I had a follow-up that would be even more problematic, but we really got to move on.
It's been a really hard week. I opened Twitter yesterday and saw that Boise State's official Twitter account was like promoting us. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. So shout out to Guy, our list guy. I think he did like 100,000 plus interactions on guys' lists here. So credit to him for week 1. Incredible stuff. And then I kind of floated like, hey, if we can help you out in any other ways, like, let us know. And he was like asking for a very simple thing instead of asking for like riches. Like, I thought he was going to come in with demands, and instead he was just like, can I get a pat on the back? I was like, of course I'll pat your back, Guy. You're my guy. So I love where we're at. Cart, let's go to comments though. Do you have a comment of the day?
Yes, I do. 1 second here. Let me pull this up. God, that food was delicious, by the way. I just want to let that be known. I'm different with the scrambled eggs. Where is this at? Oh, here we go. This is a personal favorite of mine. I actually already sent this to Greg, but I'm going to read it because I thought it was hilarious. My mic on? Cool. Lucas F. You look like an absolute beauty, Greg. You look like you spent 2 months on the side of a mountain and finally just crawled out. You look like a character from The Lord of the Rings. I'm going to need a comment.
I just think those 3 things are going in wildly different directions. Like, I don't think a character from The Lord of the Rings looks beautiful, but I'll take it. I love Lucas F. I feel like the only times I've seen Lucas F. in our comment section historically in the last 12 months has been to give me very weird appearance-based comments. So I enjoy them. I appreciate them. I'm feeling confident. I'm not gonna lie. I got a haircut yesterday. It's a new style. I'm trying to go a little down instead of a little up, maybe a little like I'm going more mid-major. I'm not a high major guy anymore. So I can try some things. That's how I feel. Deion, any comments, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I was with him. The Lord of the Rings thing. I mean, those are just like extremely ugly characters.
Like you have to be ugly to be in Lord of the Rings. That's a prerequisite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no comment.
No comment.
No comment. You got anything else, Cart?
Nope, just one comment today. Keeping it simple.
Dad, I love it. Okay. Cart, over under 3.5 hours of sleep you got yesterday.
See, that's tough for me because after Thursday night games, especially when we win, I'm like wired. So I'm tweeting out things, I'm tweeting out videos, I'm filling up my victory cocktail as well. We don't just stop drinking once the game's over. We got to have a victory Paloma, and it hits way, way different than conservative on fourth down Paloma. So I was able to get a solid amount of sleep, not much as I typically need, but I'll be okay. The adrenaline's still pumping.
Yeah, I just got the sense that you were up to like 350, and then you looked at the clock and were like, oh, I should probably stop like memeing Detroit wins here. So
yeah. Well,
right.
I was up for the tee off of the Ryder Cup, so that was what 130.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice. If anyone wants to live vicariously through our live watch of the Ryder Cup right now, sorry, I'm choking when I say his name. Justin Thomas was in the bunker. He just hit a shot that looks like me, where he was totally off balance, like stepped through it, and it came up like 50 feet short of a bank. So shout out to Justin Thomas. We love friend groups. We love camaraderie. We love bad golf. Apparently that's the standard in America these days. You're down 4-0 before anybody in the country even woke up, before USA Network could even put the game on. All right, let's go to the Discord. Great Discord week. We got a bunch of new members in there. A lot of great comments. We had a Discord off with Packers Lions last night. About half the Discord was on Green Bay. You saw how that went. I mean, come on. This isn't called the Discord. It's called the Sleepers Media Discord. And Sleepers Media tried to tell you it was the play of the year of the century. The Lions money line was cashing. Okay, to the comments. You sent a picture of your candle, Cart.
Yeah, it's French de lavender is the candle, not French laundry. My apologies. And it is from Anthropology for the people who commented that on the Discord. It's an expensive candle, let that be known, but it smells damn good in all situations.
French Cade lavender, is that a Cade Cunningham nod or no?
No, it's something French. Okay. And I don't even know if that's part of it. I know lavender's in it though.
Okay. Does that make it a Killian Hayes nod?
Okay, Deion, please. Riley would never.
It's a fair question. Okay, so a lot of candle discourse yesterday. We might be a candle Discord, according to Coy. We're certainly not a Green Bay Packers Discord, Coy. Fam33 says top 5 most passionate Big Ten basketball fan bases. Rankings required. I'll start. He has Michigan State at 1, Illinois at 2, Purdue 3, Indiana 4, Wisconsin 5. Carter, what's your read on that after our road trips last year?
I think Indiana should be higher on that. I think Indiana's probably top 2 in my eyes. Them folks are different down there. That game we went to when they played against Ohio State, and it was a night game, I believe, or probably about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock tip, something like that. We got there early in the morning, and the streets were already filled like they were tailgating for a football game. I knew the energy was different, and the energy in Assembly Hall was just different as well. So I don't see how that fan base or atmosphere isn't top 3 minimum.
D-Rose SAT replied, and he has Indiana at 1. He said MSU can't be 1 as a football school. Any comments?
We don't even have a football team.
Deion, you made a face there.
Yeah, Northwestern State University is not a football school to me anymore.
We might talk about this later in the episode. I have a gut feel, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, just quickly, I don't think Michigan State's 1. I would put them 3 or 4. I think Michigan State fans aren't necessarily basketball specific, though. Like, they're just kind of the crazy fans are crazy in general at Michigan State. Indiana has, like, I'll kill to see Will Sheehy get 12 points on a Tuesday. Like, I don't feel like Michigan State rolled out like that for role players. Illinois is up there, but again, I think they're kind of crazy in general. So I would have Indiana and Purdue higher. And no offense, I don't think Wisconsin belongs in the top 5. Now, we went to Madison once. I wasn't impressed. I don't know. Would you say like they were more excited about the party on the frozen lake than they were their bubble team trying to sneak into the tournament?
Yeah, no one cared. No one cared about the season. No one cared about that game at all. They cared about the ice, and they cared about what Brett Bielema was, or who was the guy who they kept bringing up. We were asking the most famous Wisconsin person or most famous Wisconsin athlete, and who was everybody saying? Greg, do you remember?
Barry Alvarez.
Yeah, like what?
Didn't JJ Watt go there?
You got a home game against Rutgers, and everyone's focused on Barry Alvarez.
Now, JJ Watt did go there, to Deion's point, but also not to totally debunk what Cart is saying here, but he says we asked everybody. We asked two guys who happened to be at the bar still at 1:55 in the morning at the empty bar that we were playing darts at. So I don't know that those two guys could name a Wisconsin athlete, and they went with Barry Alvarez. Wouldn't hold that against everybody. Moving on, Coy has a comment on our bucket list, our guys bucket list. He says, as far as buckets and Dane Danger, he averaged 10 points per game on 20 minutes per game. We got a lot of Dane Danger pushback yesterday, Carter. I know you are not a fan of that. What do you think about all of this?
It's just it's a big man erasure, and I hate it. I don't know why it comes up. I mean, when you watch him play, if anybody checks that man one-on-one, he's dogging them. Like, that's happening, and he's got a bag. So just because he's big and his name is Dane Danger doesn't mean that he can't be on a bucket list, all right? It's like, for some reason, all the short kings want to come out when it's time to make a bucket list, but Dane Danger holds his own when it comes to buckets. So, I mean, that stat right there speaks for itself, by the way, too. Like, he's getting that many points in that many minutes, and that's with guys around him not being the first option. Give me first option Dane Danger at minimum 28 minutes, and you got a top 10 scorer in the Big Ten.
This is a great day for this dialogue because we have a big man and a short king on the show. So let's go to Deion.
Yeah, first off, no one in a Pinay Sewell jersey is ever going to height shame anybody. Okay?
It's Panay. Respect my right tackle.
Oh, he's at right tackle now?
Yeah.
Let me jot that down for one of our next conversations. I didn't realize they had to move him to the other side. Second off, Dane Danger is exactly why he should be on the bucket list. Forget game, like just that name, that screams bucket. If you told me he's a 6'4" guard that averages 30, I'd believe you. If you told me he's a 7-foot center, I'd believe you. Like, the name Dane Danger, you're a bucket, in my opinion.
Welcome to the danger zone.
One of my last Dane questions, because I'm with you. I'm glad Dane was on the list. I strongly advocated we needed to have him on the list. But is there a reason why he only plays 20 minutes a game? Like we're like, it'd be so easy if they just made him the first option. He'd be great. Why don't they just do that?
For some reason, it's cool to fat shame nowadays. I don't understand why.
You think that's what Daddy Brad's doing?
As a guy that wants to erase big men, it's because he can't make it up and down the court.
How do we know if we don't let him try?
I mean, Daddy Brad had Kofi playing, 35 minutes, 20 and 10 every night.
Yeah, well, Kofi was like 4% body fat.
So it's not a big man thing. It's a body fat thing. It's fat shaming.
It's fat shaming, yeah.
Okay. All right. We're not a fat shaming podcast, so I don't want to comment on that. Derek McCurr says, is it fair to judge by the Zeller Watford years or judge by the Jeremiah Rivers, Verdell Jones, Tyjon Jobe years? I have no idea what that third name is.
I'm pretty sure that's made up.
That's crazy. Shout out Verdell Jones, though. Icon. Yeah, Indiana's had some ups and downs, clearly. Probably a lot more downs than ups over the last 20 years. Tough stuff. Scrolling through, just a lot of jokes thrown at Danger's expense. Coy was spamming the Discord again. He was trying to get people to join, I think. And I think it worked because we had a flurry of joins, including Jay Misner. Shout out to Jay Misner, who said Coy got me to join. So it's working. Thanks for being here, Jay Misner. I believe Jay Misner is an Arizona fan. Card, do you want to put any comments on Arizona basketball at all after the last calendar year?
I'm kind of in on Arizona basketball. I think I am. Like, I've already spoke about it a couple of times. I'm in on the Caleb Love redemption arc. I think Jaden Bradley can be a good piece. Kylan Boswell takes a step. Pell Larson, I think, is a really good player. I think he gets looked at as a glue guy, but I think he can do a little bit more. He can step up kind of with Tubelis gone. And, they still got Big Ballo in the middle too. So I'm kind of in on this Arizona team. I know they've heard us before on being in on them, but yeah, I'm in on Arizona.
So this comment came in before the Packers-Lions game. Travis Nelson said, as a known Packer hater, Love is far and away better than Wilson. Love definitely has the coaching on his side with LaFleur's scheme, and he's not in the top half of QBs, but he clears Zach Wilson. We sure about that?
You sure about that? You sure about that? I mean, Greg, we got to bring up the comment you had because I was actually crying about it for a good 10 minutes. Was it Diet Snapple Chris Leak?
Diet Snapple Chris Leak is the Jordan Love comparison. Look, I get it. Like, you look at his headshot. I'm a big headshot guy. You want this guy to be a star quarterback. Absolutely. I've never seen a man so afraid in a football game as Jordan Love last night. And I know Deion's watched a lot of scared quarterbacks in his time, so I'm excited to get his take on this. But, like, I'm not kidding. I think people think I'm joking about this. That game was over the moment that we gifted them a pick at the 20-yard line and they played for 3. When Jordan Love checked down on 3rd and 19, that told me all I need to know, and he couldn't breathe for the next 55 minutes. What'd you make of Jordan Love's performance last night, Deion?
So he's awful. Like, just a really, really bad quarterback. I think to be fair, I think, like, if I had to put a percentage on it, like 70% of quarterbacks in the NFL are bad at this point. There's just not a lot of that coming from that position. But I do agree, like, he is better than Zach Wilson. But that's more of a shot at Zach Wilson than being like, yeah, Jordan Love should be your quarterback. I hate the notion these fans come up with where it's like, hey, it could be worse. Jimmy Garoppolo could be your quarterback. Like, no, that doesn't make it okay to have a fucking awful quarterback still.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in a bad quarterback era right now. That doesn't mean we should be, like, celebrating if you're, like, the 15th best quarterback in this league. That just means the league is really, really bad right now. Yeah. Nick 1904 says he has a guy for guys bucket guy list. Raekwon Battle, shout out Deion. I think you're a West Virginia fan. He watched a lot of mid-major games, degenerate gambler, and he is definitely a bucket. My takeaway from this comment is that we would get along with Nick quite a bit. Do you like that call out, Deion?
Yeah, I just want to say shout out to him for shouting me out. I love that. Also, Raekwon Battle is a bucket for what it's worth.
And his name's Battle.
Yeah, this West Virginia team is going to be so, like, funny to watch. Like, it's just such a cast of characters on this team. Like, we're going to get Raekwon Battle, Kirk Creesa. It's just going to be fun. Didn't Jose Perez come back too?
Yeah, and it's the big man from Syracuse.
Edwards?
Edwards, yeah.
It's
just Perez is actually playing? Like, that's a real thing? That wasn't a joke?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be classic.
I honestly thought the whole thing was a joke.
The team should have been so good. I mean, free my dog, Huggy, man. Like, yeah. just give it 1 year, then give it to him.
Yeah, for real. Jay Misner back, the Arizona fan, new member of the Discord, says even he is not sure about Caleb Love being number 2 on the bucket list, but we will find out soon. The season of Love is almost here. That was definitely a controversial one behind the scenes. We got less pushback at having Caleb Love so high on that list as I thought we would. I was adamant that he should have been dropped on the list. Ultimately, I don't tell Guy how to build guys. So, Carter, do you feel good about Caleb Love as the second best bucket in college basketball?
Yeah, I do, because I think a part of bucket is being able to get enough shots up to even get in that bucket category, and the kid gives himself a chance. And I mean, that's all you can really do. You got to give yourself a chance. Don't leave yourself short. It's just, once again, also to stick up for the big fellas. It's just, Caleb Love's at 2, and Dane Danger has to take the fall for being at 7. No one wants to call out Caleb Love at 2. It is what it is.
Speaking of nobody giving love to the big fellas, you did drop a new men's league performance last night. Highly recommend everybody to watch Carter's updated men's league highlights with his commentary over them. It seems like, again, people really enjoying this. I did not know what to expect. You had told me you had a good game. You didn't tell me anything else about the game. Come to find out, you pretty much had a triple-double, and your team lost and went to a 5'4", 220-pound white man in the post while you stood behind the three-point line in a 2-point game with 30 seconds left.
Yep, 100%. And then Chauncey, after the game, broke it to us that he just got a new job in Chicago that he starts next week, so we lost Chauncey.
I don't mean to get, like, too harsh on this, but it really seems It seems like you have no respect within the walls of your team. Like they don't want to give you the ball in a 2-point game when you have a triple-double. Your best teammate just left in the middle of the season. That's crazy. Like, does anybody like playing with you?
See, that's what I don't get. Why would you not like playing with me? I don't ball hog. I pass the rock all the time.
Do you want a couple examples of why they wouldn't like playing?
I'm just saying, maybe if I ball hog, maybe we win.
I'd like the
I can
examples.
think of like at least 5 times on video I've seen you cherry pick at 6'7", leak out, hit a Euro step layup over someone my size in the open court, and then hot dog and yell at fans that don't exist while the other team's going back down the court.
Top 5 in the league in rebounds, by the way. Let's respect my name.
I'd hope so. I would hope so.
I'm saying I do the little things. I play defense. I don't know. I feel like I could be a lot worse of a teammate. I'm a great
The
teammate.
guy's celebrating top 5 in the league in rebounds like there's anybody else over 6'4" in this league.
There actually is, though, for real.
Not in the videos that you've shown us.
I don't think you actually like are. I mean, I know I look massive, but like there's some dudes out there who are actually tall.
Okay.
There's not.
There's not. I mean, we might need to pull up to one of these games in person. I don't think I'm going to tell you when we do. But please keep it coming. It's great content. Tristan Freeman busting brackets says, sorry, I skipped one from Nick. He says another fun one is Aaron Estrada. I don't know enough about Aaron Estrada to define whether or not he belongs on the bucket list yet. You're nodding though, Cart.
I mean, he was a bucket at Hofstra, and he's gonna go play in Nate Oates' system. So
those are Hofstra buckets.
Yeah, but 20's 20.
Not at Hofstra.
I mean, did you actually watch him play though?
No. So that's
okay. Well, if you watched him play, you would. He honestly might be one of your favorite players in the country.
All right, then I look forward to that. Maybe I'll jump back on the Nate Oates bandwagon. Probably not, but maybe. Tristan Freeman says, thoroughly love Greg desperately wanting to be compared to Tyler Cameron while wearing the same goggles that one DePaul walk-on wore before. Blue light glasses, for the record, not goggles. But yeah, I mean, is what it is. I'm always going to shoot for the stars when I don't want to be comped to like somebody horrible. I don't want to be comped to the Lord of the Rings characters. Okay. I want to be comped to the greatest Bachelor contestant in the last 45 years. Malik Perry comes in this morning. He's got a comment that says, watching Carter comprehend comic references is like Madi Sissoko playing basketball Lost. Everyone sees Edie as a beast, but if his teams ain't good, they will lose a lot of games.
Basketball team is good, Malik. They're good. It's not just Edie.
Wow. Okay. Something happened on that first. I couldn't hear what you said in the first one, but we're just going to move on because
Purdue's good, Malik. They're a good basketball team. They're not just Zach Edey, my brother in Christ.
Thank you.
Stop watching Trey Holloman film.
All right, that's all of our comments today. Thank you so much to everybody in the Discord. Community's growing. We appreciate you. We love you. And you guys make a very important part of this show happen every single day. So looking forward to next week already. We dropped the Sleepers Bets newsletter. We haven't even tweeted it out yet, but we gave it to the Discord Thursday night. So Carter has 4 plays. I have 5 plays. And then even a special guest appearance in the newsletter this week with a nice little parlay of his own, a new feature. So, yeah, excited. I like the slate. Any quick comments on the college football slate this week, guys?
I'm a little concerned on your stance on Utah. Like, because it was in your long shot parlay. Yeah. Like, is Utah winning?
I think they have a good chance. I originally had Utah plus 4.5 in my 5 against the spread plays, but I pulled out of it because I didn't want to have a Friday bet.
Okay, respect that. Brooks Koepka's a killer. I'm sorry. That man's a menace. Yeah. Just let that be known. Sorry.
Let's all calm down. Okay. There's 3 holes left. This is a low point for American soccer. Okay. Justin Thomas is like chest bumping to get it to 5-1 right now. And Jordan Spieth just hit it in the water. This is just sad things. Continue.
I think that the biggest takeaway for the betting slate this weekend is that I'm a bettor that goes back to, I don't know what the actual phrase is, but like keep going back to the well or something along the lines of that. I will keep going back to the well on Washington until they start giving them lines that actually fit what this offense and what this team can do. Arizona might be missing their quarterback too, by the way. He got banged up in the third quarter of the last game. Don't know if he plays. If he does play, he's still Arizona's football starting quarterback. And this Washington team is going to put up at minimum 40 points. And I don't know if Arizona's going to get to 20. So the fact that I can get Washington to just win by 20 points is I'm gonna keep going back to that because it's been profitable in every single game that I bet for them.
Okay. All right. Deion, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, so my quick thought is, and this is one of the topics I wanted to talk to y'all about. I'm officially anti-Colorado. And I think this number is way too low. I think USC wins by about 60.
My word.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's save it for the topic then. A lot of good games this weekend. I think we're all excited about it. So tap it in the Discord. You get access to all of our sleepers bets every single week. Cart and I both have winning records on the season. And I'm looking for a bounce back after a not great week last week. So,
and I wrote the intro to this week's newsletter too.
Crazy. Never thought I'd see the day that happens. All right, we turn the show over to that boy D Hill. Topic number 1. What do you got?
Let's just jump into the Colorado aspect of it since we teased it there for a second. So I'm anti-Colorado. I'm not anti-Coach Prime at Colorado. I think this could change year to year. He made a comment that I'm curious you guys' opinion on, where he said teams aren't trying to beat Colorado, they're trying to beat him. And when he said that, my takeaway was everything. And I had this gut feeling after the Colorado State game. I actually think I texted G about it. They're the most fake tough team in the country. And I knew that prior to, like, during the Colorado State game. But when he made that comment, he doesn't even believe in this team. So, like, why should I believe in this team?
I think he does believe in the team. That's my read. Did you watch the full press conference, or how'd you see that clip?
I saw like a minute and a half of it. Like I didn't watch the full press conference. I know he believes in his players. Like I don't think he doesn't believe in them as individuals, but like I don't know. That comment is a very me comment, which I am a me guy. Like if I was a coach, I would say the same thing. Don't get me wrong, but like if I was a coach, I'd also get fired very early. So I don't know if you.
So I viewed that as entirely Deion just trying to like shift the target, because I think like he knew his guys were talking shit, and like he knew that video is probably going to come out of Shador saying like you're small and then you just lost by 40. So I think like he's trying to responsibly take some of the burden of blame and the media attention off of those players with that comment, in my opinion. So there was another moment. I watched the full like 10-minute press conference because I love Deion. I still love Deion. The only thing that shifted for me in the last week after the loss to Oregon is I no longer think Colorado is going to win any of these games against the good teams. Like I am stepping off of that. I still love them. I still hope they do, and I'll still look to bet them in good spots. But there was a moment earlier in the press conference where they asked him if there was a talent gap between them and Oregon. And when they asked that question, I was fully expecting the Deion Sanders, like, yeah, there is. Like, this is the man who walked into that locker room and told everybody, get out. We're not good enough. We need to bring dudes in. And the truth is there is a talent gap. So like I was fully expecting honesty there. He didn't go for that. He said there is absolutely no talent gap. We just got our ass beat. That happens to good teams, is what it is. So I'm standing by him. That comment was not great, but I think it was intentionally designed to shift the blame. And I don't know. What do you make of this card? Like, I'm not looking to back Colorado. I think they're going to lose to USC, but it's not because of like Deion's belief in them for me.
Yeah, I think that the step back I had to take after the Oregon game is that I came in with the belief that this Colorado team, there is a talent gap. I think that Deion has said that before in different kind of words. I think he said the phrase, you better get me now. This is the worst I'm going to be, AKA I don't have my guys in here yet. Like I'm going to be better. But the thing I'll say is that
Justin Thomas is such a choke artist. He is you're not going to get away with this. You're not going to look me in the eyes and celebrate America in my face when you don't even have a bet placed on this. And dog can't get up and down. A four-footer to hold the lead, and Jordan Speed's in the water card. Continue. I'm sorry.
What I was gonna say is that I didn't come to the realization until after that Oregon game that this team doesn't have, even if they got the weapons like they got on the outside, like I think they got good receivers. They got Weaver, they got Horn. Edwards is a good running back. Shadur's a good quarterback. They are so lacking in the trenches that they don't even have a chance to use weapons like that. I haven't seen, usually you don't see a team get dominated in the trenches like that in like an interconference type matchup. Like you see that type of dominance in the trenches when Georgia plays Austin Peay, like the first game of the year. I don't think that there'll be that talent gap moving forward with Colorado, especially in the trenches. But I just don't think you can really bet on this Colorado team anymore and feel great about it because of they cannot get anything done in the trenches, and therefore they can't get anything done anywhere else. I'm going to tie this back to the Lions. We got on this podcast probably a year or two ago, maybe 2 years ago, and I tried to find the clip last night, actually, and I was telling Greg, I was like, we're okay. We got Penei Sewell. We're drafting all these linemen. We're building from the trenches, and we're going to build out. And that's what we did with this football team. That's why we got a really good offensive line now, and we're able to make things happen with Josh Reynolds and Khalif Raymond on the outside and things like that. And we got David Montgomery rushing for 100 yards. It's because we're building from the trenches. So I think that Deion's going to address that. And despite what's happening, like at the start of this season, the Vegas over-under for Colorado was like 2 games. So this was a successful year no matter what.
I don't like that. I don't like
what?
that.
They're going to
jump in on that. Can I jump in on that? I don't want to interrupt you, but can I jump in on that whenever you're done?
Yes, but last thing I want to say is not only was it 2.5, I think the public was heavy on the under for Colorado. I think it was like 82% of the bets.
Deion's shrugging. You want to take this, Deion?
Yeah, I don't care anymore. Like they won 3 games. They were the ones talking shit the whole time, not the other teams. Like, I'm sorry. That's my beef is they were the ones talking shit. In the moment they lost.
But do you not want them to talk? What are they supposed to do? Not talk shit because they're losing?
I want them to talk shit. My thing is don't talk shit. And then the first time you face adversity, I guess you could say the Colorado State game, they kind of did, but like the first time you really lose, you basically like hibernate and you run away from it, right? And Deion Sanders makes the comment like they're trying to beat me, not them. Like that's soft. And then he makes the comment,
nah,
like,
no.
I didn't like the one you said, Cart. I hate that comment. You better get me now because you won't get me in the future. We don't care about that right now. Like you just lost by 50 to Oregon. Like who cares about the future? Your son ain't going to be on that team. So like the family name's still getting tarnished at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like any of that. Like it's in the moment. You lost by 50. I didn't really feel like they just didn't handle it the way I would have liked. I got to be honest. And I really wanted them to, because I don't know if you guys saw that lady tweet out like Oregon's doing it for us. I mean, that was racist. It just was.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that celebrated that shit, genuinely.
Yeah.
My problem is with what Cart said, not with what anything Colorado people have actually said. Like, I don't have an issue with anything Deion has said. I don't have an issue with anything the players are doing. Like, I think Shador has owned it. Yeah, I got my shit wrecked and I was talking shit. I think Travis Hunter is like out here making videos with the dude who lit him up and had him out 3 weeks. I get that's a PR moment, but like these dudes, like I don't think these dudes are like running from talking shit. I think they're actually like, yeah, we got beat. It is what it is. We're still here to play football. We respect football players. My problem is with anybody who's backing Colorado and trying to go back on like, oh, no, it's a success even if they lose the next 10 games. No way, man. Like, stop it. And I get what the Vegas over-under was. The Vegas over-under was crazily wrong. That's the whole point of this in the first place.
I don't want to cut you off, but okay, they lose the rest of the games for the rest of the season. Yes, that's a failure. But like, if this team wins 6 games, is that not a successful season for them?
I think they need to do that, though. Is what I'm saying, because we've talked about how strong the Pac-12 is, right? Like, and I don't expect them to beat USC, but the spread's 21.5 again. And then what's it going to be when they play Washington? Like, what's it going to be when they play Utah? What's it going to be when they go to Washington State? Like, this conference is nasty. They're going to be an underdog in every single game the rest of the season, except for like one. So, I hope it happens. I love Colorado, but like I said, I don't like the people who are, I guess I don't like Cart is what I'm trying to say. I don't like the people who like Colorado that are like, oh yeah, none of this matters. They already did it. No, they didn't. Like, they need to have a good season. They could have a good season. This team's good.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm anti what Travis did, by the way. I want to be on record with that. I'm anti what
Talk
Travis
me
did.
through that. What does that mean?
Ah, the hit was dirty. I don't like him. I'm a for the kids person when it comes to you being an athlete. I don't like him saying that's just football. That wasn't just football. Like what he's dealing with is a very serious injury because of an extremely dirty play. I'm not saying he shouldn't interact with the guy. He should probably do what he did to take the heat off of him, because you also don't want somebody receiving death threats, especially family members that weren't a part of the play. But the comment, that's just football, that doesn't work for me.
Okay. I can get behind that take. That's fair. This game specifically against USC, 21.5-point underdogs is the same spread it was against Oregon. I want both of your input on this because I have bet Colorado against the spread every single week. That, like I said, is going to stop this week after seeing what Oregon did to them last week. But I thought about it. I'm not going to lie, because I think there's a big difference between Oregon and USC in the trenches. And I want you guys to tell me if I'm wrong, because I know you guys are both USC backers. My read on this is that I don't believe USC cares defensively at all. They just let Arizona State score 28 points. That was a game into the fourth quarter. Arizona State has 34 points on the entire season. They got shut out by Fresno State the week before they played USC, and they scored 4 touchdowns against the Trojans. I'm looking at this game on paper, and I think Colorado can score, which is why I'm on the over. And I have no idea what that'll do to the spread, because I think USC can get to 60 in this game if they want to. But what is the read there? Do you think that Colorado will be able to at least get on the scoreboard in a way they didn't against Oregon, Cart?
No, I really don't. I think USC covers pretty easily in this game. I don't think they have. They also don't have the ability to change up their style whatsoever. Like the style that they play is, whether they're scoring or not, is going to give the ball to USC more. And USC is going to score every time they touch the ball. This team's not going to be able to stop them. If they can't stop Bo Nix, and with all due respect, like the Bo Nix propaganda that I've been seeing, like Bo Nix is not that great. Okay. He's really not. I've seen some crazy takes about Bo Nix being like one of the first or one of the top quarterbacks taken in next year's draft and shit like that. Asinine. Some GM's going to ruin their franchise by reaching on Bo Nix. He was playing with Justin Herbert 4 years ago, and Justin Herbert's going into his 5th year in the NFL. Like, let's relax.
Bo
He's
Nix
not
or
dominating
Jordan
like
Love?
a Michael. What?
Jordan Love or Bo Nix?
I don't know. I think it'll look very similar in the NFL, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I truly believe that. Okay. But they're not going to be able to stop it. I think USC covers in this game. I just don't feel good. Like, it doesn't give me that warm, fuzzy feeling to bet like USC minus 21 or whatever it is against Colorado. So I'll probably just find a way to just play the over and hope both teams just put up 80.
I love the over, but I guess I'm with you that USC is going to score every time. But like, Colorado's offense without Travis Hunter is better than Arizona State's offense. They just scored 28 against this
Arizona
USC.
State made a QB change too, though, for the last game.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, they might be a little bit better. I think they put in that Notre Dame transfer.
Okay. What's your read, Deion? I mean, obviously it sounds like you're fading Colorado, but do you think they can score?
So real quick, I just want to say that Bo Nix was at Auburn while Justin Herbert was at Oregon.
Same shit, man.
Yeah, I love USC in this. That number is just so low. I don't hate the over. I do think you could get Colorado into the 20s. And if they get into the 20s, that over should hit pretty easily. I think USC gets into the 50s or 60s, because for the same amount that Colorado's offense is better than Arizona State's, and Arizona State was able to score on SC's offense is better than Oregon, and Oregon chunked up 50 on Colorado. So I think it's kind of a balancing act where it's not really going to matter spread wise, but I do like the over. Like if you're like a Colorado backer and you don't want, oh my God, John Rahm, did you see that?
Oh my God, this is killer.
Boys, it was always Europe. It was always Europe. I've literally been a European for 20 years. So Oh man, I had like one rat. Oh yeah, the over. It's 73.5. 73.5 points is the over. I think USC is getting 60. Like they might get 73.5 on their own. I think they're getting 60. If you're telling me all I need is 2 touchdowns from Colorado, like you feel great about that. Like what would you bet Colorado scores in this game? Just quickly, give me a number, both of you.
Colorado,
I think
14.
Go ahead.
You think it's 14?
I think it's like 10-ish.
Oh,
10-ish,
really?
10 to 14. I don't think so. Here's my take. I don't. People are gonna hate me for this. I don't think Shedeur is very good. That's just. I have a Shedeur Sanders jersey that literally is getting here in the morning.
I don't like that take. I don't like that take.
I don't like that take at all.
I don't like that take
I
at
know
all.
I know it's not one I wish I had. I really don't, but he has happy feet against pressure. I think he has a decent arm. I don't think it's very big though. And what I think Colorado did was they knew their better front seven. But they blitzed them and they took away the short routes. He throws so many screen passes, so many quick slants, so many unders. Like that's not to say he can't make bigger throws, but his strength is up here. And when you take him off of what his brain is like computing, I guess you could say, he's still a 21-year-old kid at the end of the day.
Yeah. Okay, so 14 points is Carter's prediction. 10 points is Deion's prediction. Just quick numbers, because not a math podcast, but I am a numbers guy occasionally when I need to be. USC's defense this year has given up 10 points to Stanford, 14 points to Nevada, 28 points to Arizona State, 28 points to San Jose State. And we think Colorado's offense is getting 10.
It's at 14.
These guys don't want to guard guys. Like that's not even how they want to play football. And that's why USC might win by a bazillion, because how Colorado wants to play is how USC wants to play. But like Oregon wanted to show up and shut these dudes out. USC has no interest in doing that. They just want to score 100. That's it. Like, and that can happen, but like, isn't the over like an easy play here? I don't know.
I still love the over because I think SC scores like 60 to 70 on their own. Like, I don't think you need much from Colorado. This is probably reactionary. Without Travis Hunter, I think San Jose State has a better offense than Colorado.
That's brutal. All right, let's move on. Just again, we'll react to this live in real time with us, like 3 hours later, whenever you listen to this. For those keeping track at home, Justin Thomas just missed a 10-footer to take the lead on 17. Again, if you have your little record books at home, Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth had a 2-point lead with 4 holes to play. They were in the water. They're missing 4-footers. He just missed one to take the lead. We moved to 18. What is the second topic today, Deion?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously we have to talk Lions, but I want to take a different route with it. I'm willing to say they're a really good football team. Like, let's stop talking about them. Like, let's stop like having the combo where it's like we have to admit they're good. Like they are. You know what I mean? What's the next step? Because my hot take is this is the offseason. You do what the Warriors did with Mark Jackson and you get Dan Campbell up out of there and you promote Ben Johnson before you lose him.
Whoa. Okay, before I throw this to Cart, resident Lions fan, am I still allowed to brand this video with the thumbnail, the Detroit Lions are the best team in the NFL?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, then that's what I'm going with, but I like this hypothetical. Carter, you and I were kind of, for lack of a better word, bitching about Ben Johnson yesterday. I don't like how inconsistent the aggression is. Like the moments I would like them to be aggressive, they want to sit back and run the ball 3 straight times with a 10-point lead with 8 minutes left. The moments that I don't want them to be aggressive, they're running 4th and 14 fake punts from the own 15-yard line. Like I don't get it. If you're going to be aggressive at the right times. I've said pretty clearly, I don't think the staff knows how to play as the better football team. I think it's never happened. I think they've proven themselves as one of the best staffs in the NFL. at trying to steal wins when you're the worst football team. They have no idea how to coach a football game when they're the better football team. Luckily, last night, the Lions were just way better than the Packers. It didn't really matter, in my opinion. So where are you at? Do you like this idea? Is Ben Johnson the better coach? Is that who we should be hoping for here? Or what's your read here?
You know, besides the fact of Ben Johnson, let's just say, just for the lack of this exercise, or for the sake of this exercise, that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Dan Campbell and maybe can unlock this team whatsoever. I don't know if we, as the Lions, this team, can afford to lose Dan Campbell, though, just because of what he brings. Like, for all the, the people who were like, oh, I'm sick of the biting the kneecaps, I'm sick of the coffee order, I'm sick of all that. He literally has this team believing that they're like the best team in the NFL. Like, we come out here and we actually play like we are. I'm saying they play like they are, Deion. Like, they actually believe in it. I didn't think they would buy into the shtick stuff, but even if it isn't a shtick, call it what you want. Like, this team is buying into Dan Campbell, into like what he's talking about. So I don't know if you can afford to like just move on from him, because I think it might like affect how the team feels and how they go about business. And also, to the Ben Johnson point, I think it's weird to me that Ben Johnson calls games like he's afraid to have Goff throw for 300 yards. Like, when Goff gets near 200, he's like, okay, all runs. I want Goff to end with 227. We can't have him throwing a bunch of times, even though, despite the, of course, the last 3 games, all of a sudden he's throwing picks out of nowhere. Besides that, you have a quarterback who wasn't making any mistakes. Like, why not just let him air it out? He was in a rhythm. They couldn't stop it. They're missing their best cornerback. And we're just getting 3 straight runs constantly and getting soft and not aggressive when we're not supposed to be. But that's a crazy idea to me, though, the moving on from Campbell thing. I don't think they can afford to do that. We also don't have generational players like Steph Curry on our team, by the way.
It's fair enough. But to me, everything you just said, then they're not that good. I'm saying they are that good. You're saying they aren't, and that they need a coach to manufacture them into believing they're that good. I don't think they need that anymore. What they need is a coach that's going to out-scheme the next guy. Maybe that's not Ben Johnson.
That ain't Ben Johnson. I don't
think listen, maybe it's not. Ben Johnson, in my opinion, is going to be the hottest name on the market in the offseason, and he's going to get a head coaching gig, and that's why I used him as an example. But maybe it's not him. But, like, there's not too big of a difference, obviously, Tyreek Hill, between Flores's Dolphins teams and McDaniel's Dolphins teams, and it's a completely different like end result. You know what I mean? And this isn't to say like Dan Campbell's not a good coach, but a guy like that has a ceiling. And if this team is actually good, the way I think they're actually good, you don't need a guy to make them believe. You need a guy that's going to get them over the hump when, respectfully, he goes against a Kyle Shanahan or a Sirianni.
Sirianni stinks.
That's not true.
That is true.
It's not true.
He is. He stinks.
Okay, so couple things. I might just be a sucker for this as the Lions fan right now, but I also think there is tangible value to the belief bullshit. I didn't believe that a year ago, but I think there is, given the history of this franchise, and it was the right coach at the right time. Like, Campbell could do this exact same thing with the exact same players, but 10 years earlier, when Aaron Rodgers was still in his prime, he's not the right coach for the right time. Like, it works now because that like extra boost of belief, like even if they didn't have a coach playing that gimmick, the Lions would be the best team in this division. But it's an added boost mentally and emotionally that like they think it's the power of belief, even if it's not real. They just stumbled into this magical thing at the right time with him. And this is the only time it would have worked, in my opinion. I don't know that we know what the ceiling is for Campbell. Like, I think you said there's a ceiling. That guy has a ceiling. Why do we know what the Dan Campbell ceiling is? They're 11-4 in their last 15 games in the NFL. Like,
I just think, unfortunately, like, coaches like that just cap out. They just do. I mean, I don't know the answer to that. What's
the difference between him and Sirianni? Sirianni does bullshit.
It's the scheme. It's his ability to be involved. And maybe I'm off on this. Maybe Dan Campbell has more involvement in the day-to-day processes than I'm giving him credit for, in which case, like, I would probably walk it back. It doesn't feel that way. I see too often he takes his headset off when the offense is on the field. That like I'm not saying don't trust your coordinators, but that's not the guy I would per se want as my coach if I'm trying to win a Super Bowl. You're correct. Like he was the perfect guy at the perfect time, right? But at a certain point, you then have to, I mean, just being honest, you then have to have the balls to make the move to take that next step, right? Like it can't just be this is the perfect guy at the perfect time and we're going to ride it out until the wheels fall off. Because when they do fall off, then you get the Mike Singletary situation.
So we all agree we got to see this year then first, right?
Yes.
Because like,
yes.
God forbid they go to the Super Bowl this year, then like I think we would say he's the guy. But if it's like you get to the playoffs and you lose first game, then you're talking about the jump next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this team's really good. Like I think they get to the divisional round. I think they lose to the Niners or Eagles. I do think there's a talent gap there. Like I'm not saying that's a Dan Campbell issue, but I think the right coach would shrink that talent gap. Like Dan Campbell's a very good coach if you have more talent than the other team. When you don't, he doesn't shrink that gap.
That's where I flip it though, because I think he's the best coach in the league at trying to steal wins as the underdog. I think we watched that all last. Not the motivation thing, the way he calls games and the way Ben Johnson calls games. Like because they go when they have nothing to lose in a game, they go full nothing to lose. We will die trying to get this win. And that's what led them to 8 straight wins down the stretch last year.
The problem is in the playoffs, nobody has anything to lose. So like it's win or go home. You know what I mean? It's a little different than
sometimes that gets tight though. Like we've seen good teams get tight in those moments.
Yes.
Like the Lions will not be tight with this coaching staff in a playoff game against the 49ers. Won't happen.
And listen, and I was going to compare the Lions to the 49ers to when Cart was talking about Ben Johnson's play calling. Ben Johnson calls games like a guy who doesn't really trust his quarterback. I do think he should have more trust in golf than he does, but that's just like I've just seen that for so long that I can't help but make that comparison.
I will agree with you here, Deion. I think that not to look too far ahead, but eventually there will have to be probably a hard decision made about this Lions team. I don't think it's with Campbell though, to be honest with you. I think it's with Goff. Like we can't make Goff a top 5 paid quarterback in the league. I'm sorry, you can't. It'll screw the franchise.
I don't think that's a hard decision though.
No, because counterpoint, I think it is a hard decision. Here's why: quarterbacks aren't running backs. You can't just say, "Hey, get anybody with healthy legs, and behind this offensive line, we'll get them to 15 touchdowns this year." I believe the Lions can do that. If they can do it with Jamal Williams, they can do it with anybody. Dave Montgomery, 3 touchdowns last night. Quarterbacks aren't that. We're talking about how this is a bad quarterback era right now. There's 7 quarterbacks we think we would define as good in the league. And Jared Goff is right at the bottom of that, but he's one of them. Like, if you cut Jared Goff, don't want to pay him, who are you paying? Because if you take Jordan Love and put him on this football team, this team stinks.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. I agree.
Like at a certain point, you got to pay for something. I know we're not paying for running backs. That's the right move. But like, if we're going to pay something, you got to pay Goff, right?
Well, you guys kind of are paying for running backs. He just drafted 112.
Oh God, please don't get Gregory going on that. Also, sorry, I didn't mean to get out of pocket right there. But we're getting Scotty made putts to win the hole in fist pumps. Yeah, that's a scary sight.
But that's Scotty. Yeah. That's Scotty's gonna be the best American player in the world because he has been.
Not making putts though.
Yeah, he's been working with that British guy, and I'm easily convinced with anything. I saw one video on Twitter, and I'm ready to hammer Scotty to win the Masters.
Okay, I don't mind that. I'm still a Scotty guy. I'm still holding Scotty stock. I'm sick. He's the one guy that's gonna make me lose this bet, but I mean, he can only carry around Justin Thomas's friend group for so long. We'll see what happens.
Oh, my bad. Didn't see you there. You've been finding a void in your life, something that you need a sense of community, a sense of want, a sense of being there. What better place than to join the Sleepers Media Discord, where we have a community, we have discussions, we have engagements, and we have betting advice in there for anyone who wants to get into that betting world. We are more than happy to be your betting Obi-Wan Kenobi and lead you to the greatness of maybe greener pastures and more money. But for the small price of $9.99, if you join on the web, don't join on mobile, join on the web. You can join Sleepers Media Discord, and you can have the safety and the beauty of being able to talk to me and Greg at any time you want. And we are active in the Discord. So I don't know what you're waiting for. Join the Discord, Sleepers Media, $9.99 on the web. Do it now.
All right. Anything else? Should we do the running back combo real quick? I know that was like a big thing on Twitter. I had a tweet about it. I think it's absolutely ludicrous to draft a running back 12th and rush David Montgomery 32 times in a game you led by 3 scores for the entire game. That's crazy to me. I get Montgomery was quote unquote eating. Cart pointed this out. Jahmyr Gibbs had 1.5 yards more yards per carry in this game in his 8 carries. So I don't get it. I don't get if they're saving him for what. I also don't think Jahmyr Gibbs is good. I'll go on record and say that. Like, I'm only advocating for Jahmyr Gibbs to get the ball because I want to see them back up the fact that they thought he was valuable. You can't draft that guy and then not see if he's actually something. And right now they throw to him like 4 times a game. He drops 2 of them and he gets tackled after a 1-yard run and breaks 1 15-yarder out of every 8 carries. I don't think he's good. I don't get it. Cart, you disagree with me on this. Are you frustrated with the way they're doing this?
16 rushes, 80 yards last game. It's a pretty solid game.
I mean, dope. Like,
is that?
I think just replacement level. The replacement level with dropped passes that he was supposedly
we talked about this. I'm glad you took your stance. I'm telling you, Jahmyr Gibbs is good. I am confused why they're not using him more. I agree with you there. I don't understand why we're not giving him the ball more. I think we can. And the fact that it's 32 carries from Montgomery to the other for whatever it was for Gibbs,
8.
it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand that. But
he got 20%
record that Jahmyr Gibbs is good.
He got 20% of the carries in a game they led by 3 scores for 90% of. That's who we drafted 12th. And like, I get like the Lions drafted great. That's not a criticism overall of the draft class. Laporta is a killer. Campbell looks good. Brian Branch looks like a killer. But we drafted a running back 12th. Like, guys, we drafted a running back. That's not Bijan Robinson. When Bijan was there, if you wanted to get a running back, just get Bijan. And I don't know, man. Weird decision. I think it's going to come back to bite him pretty clearly. Deion, anything on the running backs?
It hasn't yet though. When it does come back to bite us, then we can actually make a tizzy about it. But I don't know. It doesn't matter right now.
I hate that people are using that. Like it's okay to make a bad decision because the team's great anyway.
No, it's not okay. But I'm like, why do we care?
Because we're fans of the team and we don't want to see our team spend a 12th pick on a backup running back.
It's not affecting anything right now. What's it affecting?
Really frustrating. Really.
What's it affecting?
Just because you're 3-1.
Are we 4-0 if we don't draft Jahmyr Gibbs or something?
Just because you're 3-1 doesn't mean you can't have stuff that's wrong. This is what I hate with Niner fans too. Just because we're 4-0,
it can be wrong, but I'm like, what do we? I don't know. Maybe I just don't feel like complaining about that.
It's the classic. Like, can't critique anything because the team has a winning record. Okay,
you can critique it. You can critique it. It's just like I just said we critiqued it, but it's like, why is it? I don't know. Like it seems to bother people. It doesn't bother me.
It should.
Really? Oh, okay. That's well. I guess I'm just different. Then.
We drafted a backup running back 12th. How does that not bother you?
Well, what are we saying here? Like, what? I don't understand. I just don't understand.
What are we saying? I'm saying that was one of the worst draft picks I've seen in a long time. Taking a backup running back 12th overall.
Okay.
The rest of the picks were great. The rest of the picks were fantastic.
It might be.
Okay.
It might be.
Right. Do you think they're good, Cart? Like the Lions?
Yeah.
You talk like a guy that doesn't believe that.
I also think Jahmyr Gibbs is good too.
No, he's not though. So this was actually going to be my third topic because I saw
Insane.
how crazy everything was going on Twitter. Yeah, 16 for 80. I wrote that down in my notes on my phone. That's literally league average for yards per carry.
Is this the third topic?
Yeah, the running back combo is going to be the third topic.
Okay,
yeah.
Love it. Then let's right into it.
16 for 80 is literally league average. Not only did he not get carries last night, David Montgomery, he had 3 touchdowns. This is the classic Jamal Williams. This is one of the worst running back performances you could have, to be honest. 3.8 yards per carry. A lot of guys can fall down and get 3 yards. By the way, I'm rounding down to prove my point.
Love it. Appreciate that.
But a lot of guys can fall down and get 3 yards. The fact that you watched this guy get 3 yards per rush and didn't think, let's give it to the 12th pick, kind of tells you what you need to know about the 12th pick, I feel like.
I mean, does it? Like, don't the Lions not do this? We did it with DeAndre Swift last year, did we not?
And all you told me all offseason was how bad DeAndre Swift is.
Because he gets hurt.
He looks pretty good.
Hurt every single year.
He's crushing. He's absolutely
hurt
crushing
every single year, and we would have had to pay him. Do we want to pay DeAndre Swift? We're paying DeAndre.
Do we want to draft a backup 12?
Swift.
Do we want to draft a backup 12? Like,
how much money do you think the 12th pick makes in comparison to the top running backs in the league, Cart?
Not sure. Not even gonna guess. Not even gonna guess.
Top 10. It's top 10. Top 10.
I mean, that's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah. It's bad pick.
Carter, who's
bad pick? Jahmyr Gibbs sucks.
Who is a better back, Jahmyr Gibbs or DeAndre Swift?
DeAndre Swift.
Okay. So if you could get those two for the same price, you would take DeAndre Swift.
I'd take a lot of backs over Jahmyr Gibbs. He sucks.
Now, Deion, if you added the money together between the 10th pick and David Montgomery's contract, what does that do? Not a math podcast, but.
Hold on, I'm going to need a second on that because we're definitely not a math podcast.
I'd be curious because they went out and spent on Montgomery.
Let me see. So Montgomery is the 12th highest paid running back in the NFL for what it's worth. He makes $6 million. This doesn't include, this isn't with guarantees, by the way, but he makes $100,000 less than Austin Eckler. Bijan Robinson is 14, which puts Jahmyr Gibbs 18. If you do the guarantees, I believe Jahmyr and Bijan go into the top 10. But if you combine the two, they would be tied with Aaron Jones for the 6th highest paid running back. Do you want to know where DeAndre Swift is for what it's worth?
Please, yeah.
He makes so little he's not listed.
Right.
How is that possible? Wasn't he a first round pick?
Because he's gonna get paid this year.
Well, why not just not pay? Like, why not do what every other team does and just run him into the ground this year and let him go to Carolina like Philly did with Miles Sanders and then just get some other running back?
Get something for him, which is what we did.
What was it you got? Just out of curiosity.
I think I don't know, some type of pick. I don't know.
Would you rather have some type of pick or the 12th pick? Because that essentially the way I see it is
we would have had the 12th pick anyway.
That's my point. But because you chose to trade DeAndre Swift, you used the 12th pick on a running back.
Well, actually, to be fair, if we still had DeAndre Swift, we would probably spend the 12th pick on a backup running back because that's how we approached this pick in the first place. We replaced Swift with Monty, who is worse than Swift, and then still said we need another running back who we compared to Alvin Kamara, but we gave 20% of the carries and he keeps dropping open passes. So, all right. Hey, we're nitpicking. I mean, that's the fun part of this, right? The Lions are good.
So that was my whole point with both.
I don't think we're nitpicking at all. He's ass.
That was my whole point with both topics is like, I'm ready to nitpick the Lions. Like, they're that good. Like, this is a compliment. Like, I feel like saying like, hey, maybe Dan Campbell isn't the guy, or hey, Jahmyr Gibbs stinks. Like, that was a bad pick. Like, that's a compliment because a lot of teams the Lions could have done that last year. No one blinks an eye.
Yeah, I agree with this. I don't think we're nitpicking bad football teams. Cart doesn't seem to be taking this as if it's a compliment, though.
No, I see both sides.
I don't understand the side with Jahmyr Gibbs, though. Like, Dan Campbell.
I think Jahmyr Gibbs is good. Y'all think he stinks. That's the side.
Did you think he was good at Bama?
Yeah, I did.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't think he was good at Bama?
I thought he was all right.
Oh, I thought he was pretty good at Bama.
On a scale of all Alabama running backs, I would put him in the bottom 25%. Yeah.
But like he was a all good college running back, but if you're comparing him to the guys that came out of Bama with essentially the same offensive line scheme, etc., he's got to be like the worst running back they've had in a long time.
I don't know if it was the same.
I mean, I'm talking a similar skill set.
It's not like he had like those Bama, some of those Bama. I don't know what running backs you're speaking about, but like, I mean, some of the other Bama teams are filled with like first round offensive linemen.
Were they not last year? I just assumed they were. That was a
maybe
blanket.
shit. I don't know. We could both be wrong on that.
Yeah,
But like I said, I get it. I don't fault y'all for saying Gibbs is ass after these first 4 games. I see it. I understand it. I just don't agree.
Justin Thomas has me in hell, by the way, right now.
Yeah, I just saw that shot.
Yeah, I'm in hell. Things are bad. I might be American again. I don't like it.
What's the difference between European you and American you?
It's more of like a dietary thing, to be honest. Yeah.
But Europe is going up and firing up a crepe now that the United States is winning.
No, I'm more of like I'm a big crumpets guy now. That's been the thing for like the last 12 hours.
Crumpets.
Yeah. But I don't know. I can't welcome myself to a crumpet when Justin Thomas has me in a stranglehold. So here we are. Don't think I didn't notice, Jordan. You're in the water yet again on 18. All right, let's do one big thing presented by Big B, presented by Europe. Deion, why don't you go first today?
Yeah. So my one big thing is shout out to Europe. I placed 5 units on them to win the Ryder Cup. I'm going there on Monday. I do have one complaint for Europe.
Wait, you're going to Europe?
Yeah, I'll be in Spain. I leave Monday. Apparently, like travel is just insane. So it's gonna take me till Tuesday to get there, which that wasn't really wasn't part of my plan.
Actually going to Spain?
Yeah, listen, I mean, just take off for Spain sometimes. Now my boy's out there for a year, and I was like, all right, well, I decided like last month or something, I'm just gonna go.
But
I'm kind of looking forward to every Friday you're in a different location every time we do this. It's fun.
I will say this, like, I have given the disclaimer to you guys, like, if we need to be safe, I cannot come on the podcast next week hammered from a Spain bar. If the people want that, though, we can absolutely make that happen. But I do understand needing to be safe.
My God, Vic.
Night, boys. Night, boys. That is the best player in the world. Victor. Hail to my Victor. And let's see if Justin gets a little shaky, because there's about 3.5 feet left here, gentlemen. And old Justin Thomas would have made the chip. New Justin Thomas is just happy to be here. It might be stick a fork in them, boys. It might be right now. Carter, what's your one big thing presented by Big B? Presented by Europe, presented by Victor Hovland.
My one big thing is that I would give up all athletic ability and like everything probably that's good in my life to be able to golf well. I think it'd be so much fun.
I think you need a little bit more athletic ability to trade for that.
I think you're
I'm
lying.
saying, yeah, I don't have much to give, but like like a little bit of everything and just give me enough to like, I don't even want to be like a tour golfer. I just want to be a good golfer. That's it. And I would take it.
Would you have traded your Albion career, your entire college or basketball career, like coming up state championship, playing with Ray Mack, all of that, go to Albion 4 years? Would you have traded all of that just to shoot mid 80s every time you play golf?
Ooh, no.
Was mid 80s really all you wanted, Cart? Like, was that like,
brother, you haven't seen me golf.
But was that like when you were saying I want to be a good golfer, like able to golf, like what was the score you were
I was thinking like I'm shooting in the 70s.
Okay. I mean, G's a really good golfer. Like I feel like if you just maybe like pay a little attention when you golf.
Yeah, I mean it's much more than that, but we'll figure it out.
How hard is it to find clubs that fit you?
Well, I got fitted for my new clubs, and they're supposed to come on November 1st.
All right. Credit to Justin. I mean, scratch and claw your way to half a point. That's a pinnacle of his last entire calendar year. All right. A lot of golf talk today. My one big thing presented by Big B. Do I want to go golf? I don't think I want to do golf today. My one big thing presented by Big B is I want to shout out Jack Harlow, because 5 minutes before coming on this show, I saw that Jack Harlow tweeted out like a 1.5-minute long video of a verse that he did with some singer in the Asian boy band BTS. And the verse was cold. and it slaps, and that's a good look. I like you, Jack. I like your vibes. I like that you just kind of disappeared. Everybody's gassing up the J. Cole verse with Yachty. Honestly, didn't love it. It sounded like every J. Cole verse I've ever heard, which is like he disappears for 3 years at a time, then he comes back and like starts rapping about a thesaurus. It's okay. Yachty sounded horrible on it. Didn't like it. So I'm on Jack team. That might be a little white privilege for me. Don't like that, but I'm into the BTS boy band rap verse. Speaking of white people, Deion, can I get a quick update to your white boy rankings?
Yeah, so we got you at 1 still. That's been unanimous for a long time.
That's crazy. I think there's a little bit of, I mean, are we just putting him up there? Is he earning it?
Oh yeah, this is a daily thing.
Okay.
He's earning it every day.
I just want to hold Greg accountable.
What areas could I be better? What are your white boy rankings?
What am I? I mean, you're one.
Am I doing my job though? Like,
you're doing your job 100%.
You got,
but like I mean, doubts creep in.
Do Card and I need to combine for like a Friday white boy ranking list, and we like release the votes?
Can we get Guy the list guy on this?
That'd be kind of hilarious.
Yes, actually though, for real, we need to.
We should do that.
Is Michael Cera in your top 5?
No, so 2 is 2 is Luca after the World Cup. 3 is listen, I'm not a huge Brock Purdy guy, but that is my quarterback at the moment. So my quarterback will always be top.
How is Purdy in there? McCaffrey's not in there.
Running back. I'm a committee guy, dude.
You're the only person in the world I know that has got McCaffrey to his team and just hates his life and hates McCaffrey. And he's the best.
I don't hate McCaffrey. I just think, well, first off, like McCaffrey, like he runs hard. Like he runs hard. So like I like McCaffrey. There's like he has a little too much. To be number 3 on this list, he has a little too much swag. Like when McCaffrey joins the list, he would have to take G's spot. Like, and he's just not going to ever be able to do that. He doesn't have that much swag. But like, I can't have him 2 because he has way too much swag to be 2 or 3. It just is what it is.
That's crazy how much sense that makes.
I'm
not even like agreeing. Like that actually makes insanely so much sense that it's wild.
It just is what it is. Like, I don't know how to like describe that for people that don't understand it, but it just makes perfect sense up here.
It really does. All right. Well, I'm very happy to hold the top spot on both of your rankings. I appreciate that. Also, I feel like in general, those are 2 wildly different criterias for your rankings. Like I would expect Cart's top 5 to be totally different than Deion's top 5. So the fact that I can hold the top spot in both is a huge accomplishment for me. Honestly, it's more impressive than anything Justin Thomas has done in the last 18 months. Don't forget about it. You had your chance. You let it slip, Justin. I'm not forgetting. And you're not winning a full point this entire tournament. You'll be lucky if they even let you trot back out there, Justin. So go ahead, take the pictures. Go hold your girlfriend's little hand. Okay, you look good in a polo. That's all you look good at right now. And don't think we ever forgot what you did this season, Justin. You're horrendous. That was the Sleepers podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed this entire week. Thanks to Deion Hilford, that boy D Hill, for being here. He will probably be here next Friday, drunk from a bar in Spain. If he isn't, we're going to have to find a last-minute replacement. Carter, any final words for the people today to end the week?
Sorry, I just saw Brooks send it into the crowd. So I'm a little shaken by that. But no, great week. Also, for the folks keeping track at home, I did come with something every single episode this week, and I hit the over. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it going next week or not, but we'll see.
Word of the day. Did you do that today?
I did not.
Yeah, I figured we kind of let that slip. It's all right. All right. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Let's win some bets. Get in the Discord, Sleepers Bets newsletter. We'll see you Monday.